Welcome you guys to the Mom and Sons Talk Show. Today's episode, I am missing out because I had to come down to Miami to come see family. Going forward, the reason I am doing the podcast intro is because I personally wanted to give you guys some big updates, and I really am excited for this. All right, we are on all social media platforms as far as this podcast. So what does that mean? We're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram, and we're on Spotify podcast. Working on getting ourselves on X next, which is Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. Going forward, all the links will be in the bottom in the description. So go to the description, click the links, follow, like, and please share so we can get out there. Hope you guys do enjoy this episode. It was very creative. If you are a Disney fan, you guys are gonna enjoy it. Promise you. Hope you guys do enjoy it. Love you guys and pay close attention. Y'all be safe. See you on the next one. Peace. Question for you guys.
No, I don't think true love is real.
Like, how are you going to be good at Monopoly? How is one even good at Monopoly? And then I proceed to beat them over the head.
At me being 16 years old and having Efrain at such a young age, and then having you at 21, right?
How is that? How do you think you're going to be able to take that journey, essentially?
Homie, let me answer that question. You're about to make her cry without even meaning it.
Like, together without having to go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
It's like most people would probably have to most people would TikTok over and over and over again. And I kid you not, I'll literally hit a rotate on my chair and grandma's gonna and it's playing over.
So this week's episode is Victor and me.
Yeah.
The first episode was Efrain and me. Now it's Victor and me. So
And Rogie and Hennessy.
Rogie and Hennessy, and then the whining dogs upstairs. I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Disney's Food and Wine.
Sure.
Yeah, we could start there. We don't have the book. We should have gone through the book.
Yeah, I think today's episode is, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I was gonna say that it's gonna be like a little bit more laid back kind of vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
Epcot was good as a whole. Most of the food is pretty delicious. I'll start off with my big standouts, and then we'll talk about improvements from last year's.
What about your?
Last things.
You'll do your top 3 picks, and I'll do my top 3 picks.
So I'm definitely gonna have to go with the Wagyu. It was like, I forgot what it's called.
That's Japan.
Yeah, it's the food in Japan.
Yeah.
It's the food item in Japan, not the
Wagyu
chicken
and rice.
Yeah, it was Wagyu and rice. Very delicious. Very good.
Their drink was good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they had a mango peach boba. That's definitely second place, both in Japan. Japan always knocks it out of the park though.
They do.
What else was up there this year? From Canada, the beef and mushroom food was really good. But dessert wise, I actually like the drink in the beginning. The tea.
That's the World Showcase.
Yeah, the tea.
Yeah,
That was inside imagination. It was good.
Yeah, that one was good.
How about your top 3?
Well, my top 3, I really like the what was that from? The mashed potatoes and the mashed potatoes and the meat. That was from, God, I told you we should have saved the little booklet.
I think you're talking about Germany. Maybe Belgium? No, Belgium.
Yeah, it
That's
was
Belgium.
Belgium. That one was really good. Of course, the Wagyu was really good. That's always one of my favorites. As far as the desserts go, well, the crema catalana was really not the crema catalana, the creme brulee.
Oh yeah, but I thought I was gonna put that in the other category of like improvements, because last year's it just wasn't as like it wasn't very good, but this year they really stepped it up and it was actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. It was actually. I was very surprising that it was actually good because
Last year's was not that great, but it's okay. I mean,
was
this is what it's all about, living and learning, I guess.
What else was good? It was really hot.
Oh yeah, very, very hot. Oh, you didn't get to have it as much as I did, but you want to get some type of refresher, the agua fresca from.
Oh, that one was good too.
It's I think it's by the land. I forget what it's called now, but it was pretty damn good. The pumpkin thing was also really good too. From I think that's the one Swirled Showcase. Very, very delicious.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at what trying to look at the booklet. There it is.
Other Disney news.
Oh, you like these two? These were
Brazil, the cheesy bread, very delicious.
yeah, those were good.
If you are a big fan of what's it called? If you're a big fan of like cheesy bread, like pan de bonos or that type of, that's really good. Another Disney news there, Spaceship Earth is getting it's getting refurbishment, so that's dope.
Yeah, and yeah, it's closed down right now.
Yeah,
And
they're
also
refurbishing it.
the they also announced the
Carousel of Progress
yeah Carousel of Progress is
also
gonna
gonna
get
get a refurbishment.
yeah, that's exciting too.
Very exciting, you know. Moving with the times, I guess. I hope they keep some parts of it though.
Well, yeah, no, the ideas. I hope that they keep
Most of it.
and
They just add on to it.
Yeah,
Or-
they update the last part of it, right? Like to show more with the time.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see some AI stuff at the end, right? Now that we had that big conversation on AI. And then, funny enough, I find a show that has everything to do with AI.
Nice.
Yeah, called Upload
Nice.
on Amazon.
Shout out to Upload on Amazon, I guess.
Yeah, it was okay. And then, of course, you
What-
haven't seen that show, but that was a good show too.
Well, if we're
But
talking
it has
about
nothing to do with AI,
If-
but a good show.
if we're talking about different shows we've watched, as of recently, I've been watching. I think my biggest shows that I'm watching right now, I'm watching the entire Aliens franchise, and that's really fun.
Yeah, I saw a couple of movies with you last week.
Yeah, this is really, really fun. I'm in Aliens right now. I just finished watching Alien Earth. Alien Earth is pretty dope in my opinion. I think that it's going into a really, really interesting direction. I'm on Aliens right now, but I've been caught up between that, Peacemaker. Obviously, Peacemaker's so good. It's played by John Cena, but Peacemaker itself is pretty dope. It's a character that's not really well known, and the people that do know about Peacemaker in the comics, they don't really care about it, and also or don't really like it that much. But James Gunn has made an adaptation that everyone actually gives a damn about, which is pretty dope. Which is the same reason that I like Superman, where James Gunn kind of brought this kind of it gives it the same vibe as the comics, but it also revamps it so it feels modernized instead of just some stale, very over the top. Because Superman by himself is supposed to be like a Boy Scout. He's not supposed to cuss. Even though he's full of a world full of danger or whatever, right? He's supposed to be a good person and always fight for humanity, essentially. It's cool.
I love that. So, I've been watching that show The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it has like 3 different series, and so I really think I want to hear it because I've been watching like TikToks about it. They have 3 books around it as well, and so I think I want to, if not like read them, but at least listen to them. I think would be pretty cool to see like the difference between the actual show and the books. I
Well,
always like to
yeah.
see that.
I was talking about between the shows and the books and the shows and or movies. I was thinking about reading, or like you said, at least listening to the book of the Perks of Being a Wallflower, because I like that movie a lot, like a lot. Like that's like influential movies. There's like that. The Matrix. The Matrix is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like really, if you really break down that movie, it's like it's so emotionally, just like great in my opinion. Those two definitely. I think a big third one, Perks of Being a Wallflower, is definitely up there. What's another really big influential movie?
You know what movie was good that I watched the other day? The Greatest Show.
Oh, The Greatest Showman with
The Greatest
Hugh
Showman.
Jackman. Yes.
Wow, it was so good.
Amazing.
And like the story behind it, and like, you know, the lessons that movie teaches. It's so good.
So The Greatest Showman, to give you some context, so Hugh Jackman has been a Broadway performer and singer for like a long time. Mind you, I would love to see some of his other stuff. I just know of them. I haven't really seen any. If I'm honest. But a lot of it's funny because in Deadpool and Wolverine, he mentions like he breaks the fourth wall talking about him and all of his movies or and stuff that he's
His
done.
Broadway shows.
Yeah.
You know, and I
it
was
just like flies over some people's heads because they don't obviously know about that aspect.
they don't know that aspect of it. I'll be honest, I didn't, and so I mean I know him as an actor, but I just didn't know that he had done that stuff.
Singing voice, yeah.
But it was
really
good. Yeah.
And he all the parts, because sometimes they like with singing they have to do a lot of like work to them when it's just a regular actor, but like in his case it's like it's his voice, like he's obviously it's some like meshing and stuff, but it's he's used to doing that type of performance, and it's really fun to see.
Yeah, it was really good. You know what movie I couldn't see? Wicked.
Oh,
Lord
Wicked.
Jesus. I couldn't.
Really?
I
think you have to be interested in the universe to actually want to know about that side of the world.
I don't know, you know.
I've seen most of it. It was, to me, it was very I felt like it was too on the nose for me in a weird way. But then again, I can't really say too much because I'm also like, I'm a really big fan of Hamilton, and like they're creating a movie. Like now it's gonna be like an actual movie.
They have the original cast. The original cast was gonna do another show.
Yeah, they're gonna, because it's running behind the movie because they're creating a movie.
Yeah.
With all the songs and stuff.
The
into
original
a movie,
cast
and it's
members.
Yeah, so it's gonna be.
I don't know. Like
fantastic.
it's hard for me. I've never been into sing-alongs. I've never been into movies with like Broadway show. Yeah, I've never been into that. And
always have.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it has to be that I don't know, like it really has to me, I have to be tied into the story. But like I was watching like 5 minutes into Wicked, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, turn this off. Forget it. Forget
Yeah.
it. And I
you
mean,
have to
I
be
gotta
interested-
try it. I guess I gotta try it again, but
Yeah,
no.
you
But
have
you
to
know
be
what was-
interested in that show because you have to know context of what's going on. When's the last time you've seen The Wizard of Oz?
Well, I did I was part of the play at school when I was a little kid.
Yeah, but when was the last time you sat down and watched The Wizard of Oz? So like you know the context of at least what's going on, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm
true.
saying, right? Like with Hamilton, or like for another great one that I watched, I didn't get to see the actual play, but I got to see the movie. Chicago, I thought I was gonna be like, oh, it's okay. No,
But Chicago's good though.
I
Chicago
loved
was really
Chicago.
good, yeah.
Chicago, that it was really really good. But I that's something that you could just put on and just watch. You don't have to have like previous experience in watching for you to know what's going on,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. I just think that it's too much for me when they're singing and they're acting at the same time.
Mm.
Maybe like, but then again, it's difficult for me because I've never been into like super fiction stuff. Like it's difficult for me. Like I've seen Star Wars, but I'm not
Hard
like
for you to get attached to that type of world when you're
Yeah.
not interested in that type of
yeah.
atmosphere.
It's like when I do, you know, when I think about Star Wars and stuff like that, it's okay. I've seen some of them and stuff like that, but I think that mainly I saw them like in the big screen when they would come out, you know, like and
Yeah,
it was-
it's
it was
different.
something
It's
like
different
that.
for you because you're not as into, and that's okay. Because personally, I love Star Wars. Are you kidding? Like you could throw on Revenge of the Sith. I will always love that movie. But there's just some people just need to have more tangibility to like the world around them, and that's okay. Like it's like there's levels to sci-fi, right? Like for example, I would say The Matrix is kind of somewhere in the middle where it's like it's very tangible because the world's tangible, and then slowly you kind of get introduced to this whole sci-fi aspect of it, right?
Yeah,
So the
and I've
transition's
seen
a
it,
little
yeah.
easier,
Yeah.
right? But then there's like Star Wars and Wicked and like I would even say like Harry Potter's kind of towards the
Oh, no,
middle.
I can't do Harry
You see,
Potter.
like Harry Potter,
And
it's
the Lord
a
of
lot.
the Rings.
Yeah, you see,
oh my
that's
God.
way above. That's like
That's
Star
like
Trek.
shoot me right now.
You see, that's for you. But like
And Star
for a
Trek
lot of
even
people-
worse.
a
Oh
lot
my
of a
God.
lot of people love those movies, and you can kind of ascertain that to like their level of like that level of like imagination that they want to like hold on to, I guess you could say. But
I guess it's also like, you know, I don't know, is it like, you know, I've played video games and stuff like that, but like my favorite video game was, you know, City of Heroes, and then like actual playing games like on Xbox and stuff like that. You know, I had a couple that I really liked. Like I like Battlefield a lot. I did like you know, certain games, but I wasn't like, I don't know, Crazy Taxi was one.
yeah,
Tetris for sure. And just like certain games like that I've liked, but I don't know. Look, I tried to play Fortnite and I couldn't make
yeah,
it into
you
it.
can't like fall in love with the world is what you're
But
saying.
my attention span is like,
Yeah, I guess
Dory.
it's very different for me because I get like entranced by like the idea. Of
I
a
like
different
Fallout
world.
because of the like so much Easter eggs that are in it, and you
Oh
have to,
yeah,
like,
just like a
look for
lot of
them,
like
so
fun
that-
little gimmicks and stuff, and like little events that can happen
Yeah.
throughout. Fallout's amazing. I love Fallout.
And I love
Big
the
shout out to
music too.
Oh yeah,
of
that
Fallout.
old school music. I love the ink spots. The ink spots are anything from an anthology. Is
But I always say
amazing.
that that's when I used to live. I used to live in 1990.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for sure. I used to live there.
No, yeah. Star Wars, there's just something about that world that just makes you like want to know about every little story that they have within the world.
And I know, like, I know a lot about
Yeah.
it, but
It's just not as interesting to you.
I guess I you know, I like funny stuff. I like, I like also like romantic stuff. I also like I don't know, like look, I guess I've how many times haven't I seen like the couples retreat?
Oh yeah, the couple. That movie's pretty fantastic.
I love that.
But I feel like
Wedding Crash.
there's so little like of that type of movie anymore, where it's just like it has real depth to it, but it's only like it's covered with a lot of funny jokes and gimmicks, because that it kind of is like a representation of how life is, that it's not really that serious, even though you want to make it to be like this whole serious endeavor of your, but it's like it's hilarious. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean I like um don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. I promise you, like half of the world hasn't even, they probably don't even remember. And it's crazy because
Or know of the movie.
Yeah.
Or Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury
Night at the
is really
Roxbury
good.
is pretty funny.
It's really good.
It's just
I could watch that movie over and over. But you know what other movie I like that I've seen a million times? What Women Want. That was a good movie. Serendipity is a movie that I love to watch in Christmas. It just reminds me of like New York and the glam and the, you know, like just the way that it was before. And I feel like, I don't know, I kind of want to go back to New York and see if I have a better experience. But the last time that I went to New York, it was just so blah.
it was so blah. But I think it's just the same concept of like being entranced by like how movies depict New York compared to like how it actually is. And it's not any fault to New York, it's just it has the same problem as like most other
Like when they
places that has a lot of people. You have a lot of people, you have a lot of trash, you have a lot of like it's all just culmination all together. But like movies that I can watch infinitely over and over again. They're like most I love, and I talking about it just now makes me want to like watch it again. Avatar, the first one.
Yeah.
I love Avatar.
Was really good.
But I've always been a huge fan of that gimmick or like that trope of someone that falls into this world and they fall in love with the humanity and humility of a character, and they kind of fall in love, but they're both a part of a different kind of ideas or a different part of society. Like one of probably the most popular, like I saw West Side Story. West Side Story is literally that.
That was a good movie too.
It's great.
Yeah, that was a good movie too. I saw it at school.
West Side Story. What else? You could even put Fast and the Furious under that category, right?
I don't know.
Because Brian,
just...
the first one I'm saying,
oh,
because,
the first
because
one, yes,
Brian O'Connor is Brian Spillner is an undercover cop, but he falls in love with the race world and also Mia, and so he falls in love with this aspect of living where everything is 1,000 miles a minute, but the things that you hold dear to you is your family and your respect and kind of dealing with everything together as a group, right? And that's kind of like I've always loved that kind of like trope.
I don't know, like what do I like? I don't know, like, and it's interesting because like I literally could sit a whole, like I could literally be in my room all day watching TV and like.
Yeah, I think I got that from you because I just love movies.
Yeah.
Like there's just something.
I get that from my dad.
It's just something so like captivating about them. Like I think I will always remember when I watched Endgame at the movie theaters. Like that's always gonna be something like in my brain right? That's like your version of watching Star Wars with a bunch of people where they didn't know anything that was going on, and they're all like, oh, right, like,
I think I would, like, to me, I always remember, like, how much Toy Story.
Oh yeah, lots of Toy Story. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
You
If you
watch,
sit there
like,
and
that
you
show
pick apart,
over
like,
and
yeah.
over, and it was like every day.
But I
every
still
day.
do that. I still have like shows that I will like whenever I'm like I haven't watched in a minute, but like I'll watch the first like 10 to like 12 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. It's just so good. And then a certain thing happens and then I lose interest, but I guess that's like some people were still watching it, but personally I lost all hope. But like Friends, I love watching Friends.
But you know
Some
what?
people are like How I Met Your Mother type of people. I don't know. I
you know
love
what
all
I
the
can't see
characters.
too?
I love all the characters, and I think the show's great. It's not mine. It's just not mine. Friends is like, there's just something about it that's so like, I think it's that little aspect of that they show a big part of that glam of like living in New York as a group.
Yeah, that was a good show. It was
It's just
very
so
very well made, and I think that no matter through the years, because it's crazy, our generation, you know, I'm 21 years older than you, and still that show, even at your age, it was a show that people have watched and they still have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, and like my generation, they grew up while the show was like, the next episode is coming. We gotta wait until whatever, and it was like that. But you know,
I think that's something. If we want to get, I feel like that's something that's not gonna be a thing anymore, unless I actively, like, for example, when I have kids, I have to make the conscious effort to show them a movie or show that you've watched, because there's no cable, right? Like there's no, like, everyone watches things through streaming services. But the first way that I got introduced to Friends was Nick at Night. They would play literally just the entire like first 3 seasons of Friends just back to back to back, because people just loved it so much, and it was so easy for them to have the rights over it. So like it would just stream.
It still streams now.
And you would just sit there and you would just watch, and you'd be like, what is this show? And I want to learn more about the show. And it's not, over time, I think the best thing about those types of shows is that you didn't necessarily have to watch the episode right before to know the following.
Yeah, because it was very if it was real life, like what's really happening today.
It's just different things that would happen, and it's not like
course.
really concurrent unless it's like a part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
Or like, what's another one?
But look, so every night, so I have this thing for a long time now. I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy because I wrote to my brother, happy birthday at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, just to, and I said, yeah, I wake up still at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And I first saw the new episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty. And then after that, I've been watching Home Improvement. So Home Improvement was a show that I grew up with when I was a child, right? And so I always remember it coming up and whatever, but I always go back to watching The Kings of Queens, or watching, what's that other show, like Two Grown Men.
You really like, there was a moment in time where you used to watch a lot of Two Broke Girls.
Two Broke Girls, sorry. The two, what is it, oh my god, what was that other show, oh my god, Two and a Half Men. Yeah. And so it was just all of those shows that I just always go back to. Oh, Everybody Loves Raymond.
I would. So when I would have like a really hard time falling asleep, like even like when I'm at someone's house or something and I can't really fall asleep, I'll always put on Married with Children, and I think that's Married with Children. And I think that's because of you, because you, for a big part of our life, when there was only one bed and it was just me, you, and Efrain, like it was just nighttime came, married with children, and then we would all just, as soon as the theme song would play, maybe we'd get an episode in, but the following episode is just theme song sleep.
Yeah. And that's how it is now. I mean, I do that today, right? Like with Everybody Loves Raymond, or like, you know, Kings of Queens and Two Broke Girls.
I think the funniest experience with that is that I was at when I went to Epic Universe with those group of people that I went to Epic Universe, like Guillermo and his friends and stuff. We all couldn't go to sleep, and I put it on the TV, and they're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Bro, just trust." We watched one full episode. The next, everyone fell asleep, and it just works. There's just something about it that's just so. It's so entertaining, and then it has such like a good wind down, I guess, that just makes it so easy to just go to sleep.
I find it interesting that we don't.
Oh, I have another one, but continue.
I find it interesting how, you know, I know that everybody's. I remember talking to my therapist about this, and she's like, "Oh, how do you wind down?" And I said, well, you know, I usually play with my phone. I stopped doing that. And so I put my phone down now and I put it to charge. I pick it up in the middle of the night because that's how I watch TV. Or when I have the tablet or whatever, I'll just turn on the tablet. But because Armando's sleeping, you know, I watch my phone, and, you know, I do this every night. So I constantly, like, even all the time now, I turn on the TV, I put these shows, and I fall asleep, like, right away. And I don't know, it's interesting. She's like, but how does that relax you? And I was like, but it just does. Because, like, the TV, some people have a problem, I guess, falling asleep with the TV or something.
No, I fall asleep quicker with the
And
TV.
I fall asleep quicker
But,
with the TV, yeah. I put a timer on
I think
it.
it's because we're so used to like the noise
Yeah,
of
that's
just
true.
people talking. Just
That's true. Yeah. Did you ever get to watch The Office?
yeah, of course. I've seen all of The Office. I love talking about favorite characters that are in just regular. Jim has got to be one of the, like, that's someone that you could genuinely like look up to.
I
Like,
wonder why I can't get into that show, and I've tried.
It's not for everyone because it's so gimmicky. It is literally the epitome, because it's okay. So The Office first was a UK TV show. Yeah, and then they transitioned it over, and they didn't even know if it was going to work. But it worked, and it worked so well because if you just, like, you can't, like, I don't know how to describe it. You can't picture it like a regular TV show. You have to picture it about what it is, which is, like, it is supposed to be the actual lives of regular people that like, and you don't really get to see, like, that's what it's made to be. Like, it's supposed to be like a reality TV show, but in reality, it's like actual show. It's like a show within a show, essentially. But
did I ever tell you
I was going to
that story?
pivot to Full House.
Oh.
Because...
So before you pivot, but did I ever tell you the story that in one of my interviews, the guy asked me about
you
The
what
Office?
episode, yeah.
And I couldn't really, like, I was like, I've seen it, but I can't really, like, and I think he didn't give me the job because I didn't really watch
The Office?
The Office.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird conversation, but
I don't know.
what it
I don't
is.
know. You see, I don't understand that. Like, I guess you want to kind of understand what type of people are, but, like, also The Office isn't a really good representation of that because, like, everyone has, it's not even just, like, flaws. Like, they're made to be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So, like, they're not really, none of them are really good at doing their job.
Yeah, they're not.
Like, none of them.
Like, if I'm a
Like
manager,
Dwight, you would fire Dwight instantly because him as a person, he wants to, like, he is the epitome of someone that wants to supersede you, right? And then Jim's just not like like Jim does his job off screen. Like on screen, he's just trolling the entire time.
So,
But
what were you gonna say about?
But Full House, I think that if you sit down with your family or whatever and you watch Full House, like there's just something about that level of bonding where you just sit. Like I don't think a lot of families do that, and I think that that's something that we do different. We will sit down like as a family or whatever, and we'll watch like TV shows or movies like together without having to go to a movie theater.
Yeah,
It's like most people would probably have to most people would have to go like somewhere or would have to make like an event out of it, but like there'll be days where you'll just play something on the TV and I'll just come over here and I'll look at what you're watching and I'll just end up sitting down and just hanging out with you and watching TV. But some people just don't do that, right? Like it's just not coded within them. But I think that that's something that's like spending that time with your family, not necessarily having to like conversate besides saying the occasional laugh or like that's funny, right? But like spending that time with each other is kind of like, I feel like that's kind of key, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Because like watching Full House together, I feel like that is so like, because everyone has their characters in Full House that they either like love or like hate or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Who was your favorite character?
You can't. Bob Saget is just so good. But Uncle Joey's just that's a man that has the epitome of aura. It's just Uncle Joey. It's just so good. How about you? What's your Full House?
Well, I think it was always like, DJ was like, I guess I always wanted like a sister, and seeing, the twins were fine.
The Olsen twins.
The
That's
Olsen
not one of
twins?
them's now Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. They were fine, but it wasn't, I guess they were so little at the beginning that then, yes, you saw them, but like, you always wanted like that older sister or that sister to bond with. So I think that DJ was like my favorite from all that, and
I love Kimmy, but I hate Kimmy at the same time.
yeah, no, Kimmy's annoying.
Yeah.
Kimmy reminds me of somebody, I'm not going to mention her name, but she annoys me.
Yeah.
She's nice, but she annoys me. Yeah.
It's like Chloe, our dog.
Chloe.
She's very cute. Just
But Chloe likes to cuddle and give you lovies.
Yeah. She becomes a little too much. She doesn't really know personal space all that well.
She doesn't.
Hennessy doesn't need to wind down at all. She just plops down and sleeps.
Until I say I'm gonna hit Victor, then she starts trying to bite me.
Yeah, she gets active, but
I think that after Sasha passed away, she says, "Well, I gotta protect Victor."
just sleepy. Look.
Papa Victor.
Oh, she's
Papa Victor.
Hey. Don't wake me up till we go. Look. She's waking up. Look.
Papa.
That one over there, that one's an adorable ball of cuddlefulness. But it's so funny because she's actually such a loner. Like, she really is like, I want to be in my own world, and then I'll bother you when I want something.
Her thing is like she follows me around everywhere.
Yeah, she's like a stalker. Like, she'll watch you, but like she doesn't want to have interactions.
Yeah.
What are you doing moving?
She's like, why are you moving me? Leave me alone. I'm not even.
She wants to be around your presence, but that's about it.
That's it. I don't know what was wrong with them yesterday. They were just barking.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I took them out and put them into the room, and that was it.
What else is?
I bet they were looking at a ghost.
Maybe.
So, tell me about your game. You're gonna play tomorrow.
You're talking about Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Are we gonna have the Dungeons and Dragons talk? Oh God. So Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop role playing game, but I do it online because my friends live in different parts of the country or state or city. and we play it online. And it's not.
Have you had more people join or no? Like people from other places? Or
No, not really. It's just been us.
and
but-
you're live streaming it or
Yeah,
no?
we do live stream it. We did live stream last Thursdays. Thank God. But it's very.
And that's a continuation, right? It's
Yeah,
like you just keep
it's like
adding
watching
to
a
the
show.
story, yeah.
It's like watching a show. We're creating our own show, our own movie with our own plot, whatever.
But it changes every time.
What do you mean it changes?
So like it doesn't pick up where you left off.
No,
the
it does.
lesson. It does.
It does. It's literally exact continuations.
But it's not like you don't kill people, like you kill each other, or like.
We try not to, because we're one team. Even though some of us, it's like an actual dynamic, right? Like some of our characters actually hate each other or don't like certain aspects of each other characters, but because of the position that they're in, they're kind of forced together.
So it's like, is that the same thing like the Big Bang Theory when they were playing it?
I guess, but every
But
show
they play
only
it
shows it
different.
very like little, and they show like when they do it, they're like all dressed up. Like we don't need to do that, right?
Yeah,
Because
they were all
it's more
dressed
like
up,
it's
yeah.
more like playing a character, right? And then because it's kind of more fun to not do like yourself in a video game world. Some people do that, right? But I like playing a character that's not like me, but has certain aspects I would say that are similar to mine, right? Like my character's name is Ezra Waterwood.
Okay.
He was born in underwater. He's a water genasi, and he's amphibious, so he can come on land, and he lives on land for
So is that like
since
that
he
guy
was a
from?
very little kid.
So is that like Lucas?
Oh yeah, you could say he's kind of like Luca from
That's
Luca.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney.
But he wants to help out everyone, and
Do you
his
guys like describe what he looks like?
yeah. My character kind of has a Jason Momoa vibe to him. He's 6'3",
I love
very
that.
tall. Has water like his hair is down to his shoulders, but it's all wet. It's always just damp, right?
Okay.
And he has a giant, like it's not a tattoo, it looks like it's burned onto his back, this symbol. And instead of talking like this, like how I do to discern from the way that I'm talking, right, and the way that my character speaks, my character talks like this all the time. He's country, but he's not from the country, right? But
Interesting.
right.
And what made you select them and describe them like that? Like, why do you?
Because
do that?
that's
How does that work?
okay, so my character is a barbarian. My character, he's a barbarian, he's multi-class. So instead of just one class, he's two. So he's a barbarian, which means that he try to think. When he gets mad, he does things stronger, but he's just like he's not as smart when it comes to doing things. Okay? So it leaves him like he can swing really hard on someone, right? But like when they get their turn to hit him, he's at a disadvantage because he's too busy being mad to really care. Right? And he's this big character, but in reality the whole gimmick that I've kind of built for him is that he's unbelievably nice, especially for this world. And more on top of that, he's incredibly nice, especially for someone that has gone through what he's gone through, which the backstory no one knows about it except for me and then the dungeon master, which is the person that he doesn't control the narrative. He puts us in the world, and he's the referee of what gets to happen or what doesn't get to happen, essentially.
And that was what you were doing before.
Yes, that's what I was doing before, but me and his name's Tynan, really good guy. We decided that he has more free time and more ability to write these things out than I do, right? So and I could always, he always says that I could always pick it back up, right? But right now I love playing a character. I've always loved playing a character.
And you guys
because
use the dices or no? Because
I have the dices, right? I have the dices and I use them sometimes, but sometimes I'll just use the in the application.
on the
Right,
app has
because I
its
could
own
just
die.
click. Yeah, I could just click on it and it'll roll it for me.
And
Whatever.
it, so
whatever
where
comes.
it goes, so the dices is how far you go. Like, is that how it works?
No.
Or like how many steps you take?
No. Steps are always given. Okay, so you could walk around all you like until you get into combat. Once you get into combat, it's dependent on your armor range and some other stuff, and you can move like 20 feet, 20, 30 feet, right? And we show this little map, right? But that's the only part that you really get to see physically. Everything else is kind of using imagination to kind of say like where you are and how it looks like, right?
But how does your area and what you think and looks like compared to like what Guillermo's?
Because
So,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
envision
yeah.
it a little differently, like the little aspects of things, but Tynan is the narrator, so he'll tell you that you're facing a building with lots of ivory and towering intricate carvings, all marble along the sides, and as you walk inside the marble tile as it pans across into a giant staircase that's made out of bronze and gold, right? With a purple draping carpet that looms over the staircase. The little aspects of the world you get to envision, right? Out of your own self, but like the bigger aspects, the key details about it, Tynan's the one that gives you those details.
Okay.
Right.
So he sets it up and then
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Okay.
So like, and then the physical world, like Tynan will sit there and he'll put us in a map, and the map will show bad guys and where we are and whatever. And essentially you have a d20 and a couple other dice for other things, but let's say as a character you're going to be good at some things, and just like life, you're going to be good at some things, you're going to be not good at others.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So like, let's say you're really strong, right? If you just roll a dice, but your character's supposed to be really strong, that wouldn't make sense because it would just be chance, right? But you're still able to fail things even though you're good at something, right? So like, how do you add that balance? That balance is added by having a character sheet made up where when you roll the dice, it'll give it points automatically. So let's say you roll a 3, right? But you're really good at strength. So it'll be a +3 on top of that. So it'll be a 6. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so I see. Okay, that makes sense. You know, I've always been curious to know how the game works, right? Because I know that you can either play it in the physical. Now, what's the difference between that and Magic?
Magic the Gathering, completely different.
But it's because you're using the deck of cards that are in front of you.
Yeah, but it's not even role playing. Magic's not role playing at all. Magic's just, it's an intellectual strategy game. It's placing down you've ever played, it's like any other card game that, like, you remember the Disney game that we played?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you play the little cards,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone else can give you like a bad guy to go against?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like that, but no one gives you a bad guy. The bad guy is every other character that they have in their hand. And then how can they place them down, right? To not be able to be like, I place this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, right? You have a certain amount of mana that you get each round, or you kind of place down a mana of some sort, either water.
So you would have to have, like, it's based on also what characters you have. So the stronger your character is, right?
Yes, but it's also, there's different strategies, right? Because let's say you have one big character. Let's say you have one big guy. he does like 1,000 damage, right? And you have this little thing that only has 1 health and does 1 damage, right? If he attacks you with it and he doesn't have a thing called trample, your little guy can block all that damage because he takes the entire hit, right? However, right, let's say you have 1,000,000 little guys, right? And the other guy has trample. 1,000 of those characters will die because they're all 1 health. So there's different strategies, right? So like my entire build in Magic is based off of making my guys stronger as quick as possible. So not only will I have characters that'll make them stronger, like make them all have more health or more damage, but on top of that, I'll have characters that when another character gets more health or more damage, it gets more health or more damage. Do you see what I'm saying? And on top of that, right, I have little things that I could do, like instead of just expanding more health and more damage for my characters, I could also give myself more health and more damage, or give like, and there's just different strategies to the game. And I think because I play Commander, it's a lot more less like actually going against each other. It's more social. It's more like navigating a political field. Like who we should attack this guy. We shouldn't attack this guy. This guy's really strong. We should attack him. But in reality, you're really strong, but no one knows that yet because you haven't hit anyone yet, and you're kind of just waiting towards the end, and you're kind of.
So it's sort of like if you're playing. Well, no, because that's not really like a card game. But I was gonna say like LOL when you're playing online, you know, League of Legends, it's a little bit different because in that you only have 1 character and you're upping a character based on like, you know, your tokens and whatever, and then you're purchasing and all that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it's really fun, but it's really hard.
I used to like that.
I to this day, right? I'll get even some of my own because it's not just about your cards and reading them. It's now about your cards and how they react with every other card that's in the table.
That's difficult. That's a lot to learn.
Right? And so and it's not you just learn it, you just do it. Right? But in reality, when you're playing
But how
Magic,
do you know if somebody's like lying to you and then
you pull up the rules, but that's why you play with friends, because either way it's not really meant like in reality it's nice to win, obviously, but like it's just fun to hang out, you know? Because you play Commander, you're like also talking about random stuff. You get pizza, you get whatever, and you're just eating food, having a good time with your friends. But instead of like playing Monopoly, where it goes the same. Mind you, I'm like the Monopoly champ.
Except from Melissa, you haven't been Melissa yet.
Because she hasn't came over here.
Yeah.
To get whooped.
Yeah, you haven't been Melissa yet.
Yeah, that's what everyone's like. How are you going to be good at Monopoly? How is one even good at Monopoly? And then I proceed to beat them over the head.
I don't know. Melissa's still the champion.
Yeah, because she cheats, but whatever.
We have to bring Melissa over to battle it out with you.
Yeah, but either way, right? It's more about.
I don't know. I like Monopoly too.
The social aspect of
of course, but that's the same thing, right? Like when you play board games and stuff like that. I think one of my favorite things about when you guys were growing up was exactly that. Like when we had like weekly game nights and we were doing like Taco Tuesday and all of us getting together and playing games and not sometimes it was like, oh, our friend gets in his moods and whatever, I don't want to play, but we made him play and then he had a good time and we were still bonding and having.
And then there's times where Efrain would play and he would get mad and crash out.
He always crashes out though. He's probably crashing out right now and then he's done here.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know. There's times where it was definitely my fault as a kid because obviously I don't really understand everything, but like I'm also like I'm very much of a person that if I'm wrong about something, you have to explain it to me very like precise and in detail for me to understand that I'm wrong. Because if I don't understand the full aspect of it, I won't get what you're saying.
Yeah, but you know what? Efrain's like that too. Efrain, like, he wants to know the why for everything. The why. It's like, guys, sometimes there isn't a why. It's just it is what it is.
But sometimes I'm very good with I'm on the flip side of that. Like I'm very good at like figuring out the why without anyone telling me. You know what I mean? Which not a lot of people have. But I've always loved the social aspect. If there's like things that I would tell everyone to try to do with their family is like play board games, do something without your phone, and like hang out, watch movies together.
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe if you can somehow get them, play video games with your family. Because I don't think there was anything funnier than like even like having you play on my setup like League of Legends with like Robert and
because you guys tend to make fun of me.
yeah, because I get to laugh at the fact that you're not good, but it's also fun because it's
Hey,
fun.
I always win. You're
Okay.
wrong. Okay?
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
player number 1. Okay?
Yeah.
One player.
Yeah.
Winner. Always. Okay?
But
Undefeated champion.
yeah.
This girl.
Okay.
Okay? Alright?
But I've always loved that aspect of things, right?
Follow me on Undefeated right here.
But I've always liked that aspect of like doing stuff together. But it always doesn't like you don't have to always make an effort. Like it's always just like it's like little stuff too. Like if you go and we're like someone's watching something, you just sit down and hang out with them.
Yeah,
You're
for sure.
hanging out with them, right? Like that always feels nice. But like yeah. That I could talk about shows and movies and stuff like all day.
I'm like that too, though. But you know, I get that from my dad. I always one of like, it's always a memory, right? Like even like, I can't wait till he comes over and I could put like an action movie for him.
Oh yeah,
and he could see in the surround
he's
sound.
very like everyone else. Like I could dabble in like multiple different genres. Oh, one more Broadway show, Cabaret, loved it.
I don't think I've seen Cabaret.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. I'll tell you that much. It's not for everyone because it deals with a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. And sometimes it's really hard because it's a story between three different like dialects or languages, right? So the first thing is German, right? Because it takes place in Germany, right? It also one of the characters is fully American, and then one of the characters is English, like British. So this story is now getting told, and you kind of have to like just pick up on like visual cues and audio cues of what's going on, and then summarize the deeper meanings, especially towards the end, as the realization of what's actually going on kind of starts to hit you. If you could really get to like the deeper meaning of like Cabaret and stuff, and really like think about that, it's really impactful, I would say. But I think I'll always love watching like action movies with my grandfather, because there's something about his face. Like he acts like not like a kid like in a mean way, but like he gets so entranced by like seeing the big explosions and the cars and crashes and stuff. Like he's just he gets
entranced.
Talk
about somebody that sits and watches for hours.
Yes,
TV. He sits and watches. He's literally watched every single movie. So every time he's like, what happened to the movies? There's no movies. And then he's like trying to figure out, and then it's the funniest thing when he talks to me about the the shows that they have, and he just randomly picks one, and I'm like, Papi, what are you watching? What is this? He goes, oh no, this movie, but I was like, that's not a movie, that's a show. But he's like, no, because you have to see this, and it's super funny, but he loves it, and I can't wait till he comes over and I can have him here with the surround sound, and ever since I bought the surround sound, I've been wanting him to come, but he hasn't come, so I could show it to him.
Yeah. There's a lot of just good, like.
My mom is the novela.
Yeah.
And then she's falling asleep and she's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, the novela, are you watching the novela? Is the novela watching you? Which one is it?
Yeah. I think the funniest part is when I used to live in the trailer, I would play video games, right? And then I'd hear the same TikTok over and over and over again. And I kid you not, I would literally hit a rotate on my chair and grandma's and it's playing over and then out of nowhere she'll, and then keep scrolling like nothing happened. And I'm like
yeah, that happened to me when I took her to Jacksonville with me the last time. I'm like, mami, el teléfono te va a caer encima. No, yo estoy despierta. Sí, está despierta roncando.
It's just a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I enjoy all those things, and I'm glad that at least we can always do those things together. It sounds so dumb, but I love for the past two summers we've done Love Island, and I remember Victor was like, I'm not gonna watch that crap, and then Efrain and me started watching it, and then Victor started jumping on it and whatever. And
it's just a train wreck. It's like one of those things where you're like.
But it's fun times when you could all just sit together and watch a show and stuff like that, and then when you have your kids, and man, remember when we used to have the everybody come over to watch oh my God, the zombie one.
The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead.
We would close our eyes, me and Efrain, and then get scared shitless.
Everybody was watching The Walking Dead, and it was just so crazy. But it was like everybody, and the lights were all off.
Yeah, the lights were off. And mind you, yeah, my mom's like a scaredy pants, mind you. So if someone just grabs if just someone just touches her sporadically, she'll freak out.
Yeah.
But
so cute.
That's another. It's just fun to just watch movies together. But also I don't even need to watch. I love learning about people's stories. It's just something about ever since I would be like, oh, what's this like, or what was that like? I've always been captivated with knowing how your experience of life was compared to other people. I will always say I feel if I would love to have a story adaptation of my mom's life and all the characters that are within her life that would come and go, right? Because not only is the time itself of where you were raised at really impactful, right? But also there's certain aspects of your life that are really impactful, and there's certain characters in your life that you could be that is absolutely the epitome of a life lesson that someone is probably in that situation and can learn from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, it's good, and definitely I think that as we continue to do the podcast, we'll talk about all of those things. I think it's important for us to continue to talk about comparing, right? What your life was, and how you grew up, and then how Efrain grew up, and how I grew up, and all of those different things that I think can talk about, a snap video, right? And then we can replay it to your kids, to to Efrain's kids, you know, and I think that that's gonna be so cool to do that stuff. But and I love that we're doing the podcast. Still, we're still young, and my hope and my prayer is that we can continue to do the podcast and we continue to grow our community, but then we keep adding, right? Like when you have children and Angie comes over, and you know,
And
and we continue to add
or
to,
special guests.
Special guests.
Like I feel like any podcast with Trevor would be hilarious.
Trevor, we gotta bring Trevor into the mix.
Any one of Efrain's friends, really.
And
If we ever
Lucas.
get Lucas, yeah. I feel like learning about Lucas's life from an outside perspective on a podcast would be like, what the fuck?
I love Lucas and you know, even Guillermo and
yeah, Guillermo would be a fun one, or even
You know?
even learning about. I feel like Adolfo's life. Adolfo's life would be interesting because he has a lot of.
I don't know about John.
A lot of stories. John's life would also be interesting for a whole. But like
For all
learning,
different reasons.
but for example, like Adolfo, like talking about his life stories about how he's kind of going through life and what stage he's in, and like how he had to deal with certain aspects of his life, right?
Yeah, of course. Is he studying anything or no, Adolfo?
He goes to college and he's thinking about also becoming a mechanic. I don't know.
He's not fully.
He's not committed to one thing as of right now, just because he's very smarty pants, but he doesn't know what to do with himself.
That's fine. Well, podcast, I think we'll end it here today.
Yeah, I don't know how much time that is, but either way.
It's all right. You know, I think we've had a lot of good conversation today. I think we continue our path here, and I have nothing but gratitude for this time spent, because I think that even this is a memory that will live on forever. I always have so many memories of things like that, you know, that I'll share with you guys in the future. And from our little Rogie Bear to our little Hennessy, good night, and
Buenas
thank you
noches.
for joining us today. Appreciate it.